anime goes big, it usually does so worldwide. Everyone knows Attack on Titan, Sailor Moon, and One Piece. The weird thing is, some of Japan's most popular anime fly under the radar just about everywhere else. So today I'm going to touch on just 3 amazing anime that are massive in Japan but not in the West, and show just how massive some of these series truly are over there. Lupin III is big enough of a series that would need its own video, but basically the series follows Lupin III, who is the grandson of Arsène Lupin, the famous French gentleman thief. Lupin loves the thrill of stealing much more than the loot itself, playing cat and mouse with the villains and police alike, and does everything with a flair. He's also joined by his companions, expert marksman Daisuke Jigen,
You're joking me!
Samurai Goemon Ishikawa the 13th, and femme fatale Fujiko Mine. He is also followed by Inspector Zenigata across the world, who dedicated his life to catching Lupin. The tone and focus of each movie and series varies from director to director. Some directors, like Studio Ghibli founder Hayao Miyazaki, focus on the silly and fun adventure side of things and more on Lupin's noble side. Whereas others, such as Yuri on Ice director Sayo Yamamoto, focus more on the gritty, dark, and psychotic side of the world and characters. So there's Lupin stories for everyone. Since the series has been going since the 60s, there's been plenty of time for the series to cement itself in Japan through 7 series, 45 movies and OVAs, video games, merch, a ride at Universal Japan, a stage play, a live-action movie and spin-off series, and probably a ton more things. Now, Lupin has played a huge part on Hollywood itself through series like Indiana Jones, and inspiring Pixar founder John Lasseter to go into animation. The series itself has had a hard time breaking through into the West. There are 2 major reasons why. The first is that Lupin was at its height in the 70s and 80s. Since after that, they waited until 2014 to release a new series, and this might surprise you, but anime hasn't always been super accessible in the West until fairly recently. The second is because of Lupin's grandpa. So when the manga was written in the 60s, copyright worked differently in Japan than it did in the West. So the author didn't have to ask for permission to use the Lupin name and have references to Arsène Lupin in the manga. And it remained that way until Lupin entered the public domain, which solved the issue. But that made anything that would use the Lupin III name outside of Japan illegal, so that made the anime even harder to get to the West. There were some attempts where they would change Lupin's name to Wolf or even Rupin, but they didn't have much success. There was also an arcade game called Cliffhanger,
the game that keeps you on the edge of your toes,
where they used footage from the film Miyazaki directed and had an interesting dub to say the least.
Oh no!
I'm gonna toss my cookies!
Will Count Draco strike the first blow? Will the princess be forced to marry someone she can't stand?
Let me know in the comments if you'd like an entire Lupin III video, because I've got a lot more to say. But it's about time to move on to the next one.
What's happening? 5 shots in the abdomen, the last of many, set up by...
Lycoris Recoil is a 2022 series, which is also getting a movie this year, by the way, that is probably the most popular in the West of the 3 we're talking about, but is still much bigger in Japan than in the West. The series has a fun cast of characters, with the 2 biggest standouts being the 2 main leads, Takina and Chisato. Takina starts out as a hardened and reserved assassin and spy. But opens up a bit as the series goes. Chisato, similar to Lupin, is here for a good time. But she can also dodge bullets like it's nothing. The series takes place in modern Japan, where the government has a secret organization of teenage girls who basically take on terrorists in secret. But after Takina shoots a guy without permission, she's sent off to live and work at a cafe where Chisato is. The series is kinda like Spy X Family in how it balances cute and fun slice-of-life moments with insanely cool gunfights and action. The best thing, in my opinion, about the show is the characters and how they bounce off each other. They make it so that whether they're just chilling at home or in a high-stakes mission, it's equally entertaining and fun to watch. Despite it being a more recent series, it quickly blew up in Japan. Not only was it the most watched anime the summer it came out, but if you look up the Japanese title on YouTube, for example, the videos are commonly in the millions, with a lot less views in Western videos. As for why this is the case, it's a lot less clear than it was with Lupin. One reason is that cute slice-of-life anime tends to do much better in Japan than in the West in general. Cute things generally are held in much higher regard than they often are in the West. But in any case, I for one highly recommend this anime. It's got a ton of fun and cute moments, some seriously cool action, and some of the best characters I've seen in a while. Detective Conan, or known as Case Closed in the West, is insanely popular in Japan, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. The series follows Shinichi Kudo, who in high school was basically Japan's Sherlock Holmes. But after solving a case, he stumbled upon some shady guys, and they knocked him out and gave him experimental poison. But the poison didn't work as intended, and had some unintentional side effects. So to not let the shady guys know that he survived, he goes by Conan and solves various cases as a kid. To accomplish this, he lives with his friend and romantic interest Ron Murray, who knows karate, by the way. He also stays with her not-so-skilled detective father. And works together with the Junior Detective League. But when I say Detective Conan has a massive effect on Japan, I'm not kidding. The series has over 32 movies, over 1,000 episodes, with more coming out to this very day, an entire town dedicated to Conan with all sorts of tourist attractions, Detective Conan World in Universal Japan, which has games, a ride, and even a themed restaurant. In 2022, Detective Conan was the second highest grossing anime franchise of the year, and the manga series is worth over $50 million. So apparently Conan is popular basically everywhere except for English-speaking countries, and I found a few possible reasons why. A big one is the approach Funimation took to localizing the series.
She's alright.
Note to self, stay away from the psycho with the dead mommy laptop.
The first hiccup is similar to Lupin III. They had to change the name of the series to avoid getting copyrighted by Conan the Barbarian for some reason, so it was changed to Case Closed. While there were murders and some jokes that wouldn't fly in the West, I think it's fair to say Conan is considered a family show in Japan. Yet it was aired on Adult Swim for 50 episodes before it was dropped due to low ratings.
That guy's like the cops. I mean, you need him and he's nowhere to be seen.
There's a new dub that started coming out in 2023, but it skipped 700 episodes to do so. Another massive reason is Detective Conan relies a ton on Japanese culture and language. And there's a huge emphasis on Japanese wordplay and that kind of thing, which makes it a lot harder to appeal to Western audiences. And while it has some romance and action, at the end of the day, it's an episodic detective anime, which realistically isn't going to pull the same numbers here in the West than in the East, which is a shame since it's a charming and fun time. So in conclusion, all three of these series were bigger in Japan than the West for various reasons, but that shouldn't stop you from checking one of these series out if they caught your eye. I hope you learned something new, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribing and sharing it with someone would be a massive help. Also, let me know if you'd like another comparison video like this in the comments. And with all that said, y'all should have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for watching.